Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Road Builder YouTube channel. Today we're bringing back a series that I've did a couple times and mainly a long time ago. It's fixing fan builds, and today we have this guy right here. I do want to let you know if you would like me to fix your build. First off, there's like a wait time. Like, I just put everybody in one folder and name it their Discord name. So when I get to it, I get to it. I want to make that very, very clear. By no means is this a rushed thing. As you can see, I've uploaded like one of these in the past, I don't know, 5 months. But today we're going to be fixing this map right here. It's pretty small. This is a zone that had a lot of, or a game that had a lot of zones. But if you have a game with a lot of zones, I pick one zone to fix. Now, if you would like to submit your map, I do pick them completely at random, so it doesn't matter what order you submit them in. I kind of just open one up and go for it. That's it. So it doesn't matter if you submit it today or 3 weeks from now, there's no specific order. But previously in this series, what I would do is just kind of move around the assets that are already in the game to make it look a lot better. And you can look at the previous videos on this series to see what I'm talking about. And 9 times out of 10, it did make the map look a lot better. But I realized I'm not really getting any better at modeling or building. I'm just like visually pleasing the models that are already there. So from now on in the series, I'm going to be remodeling pretty much everything, and it is going to make it so I pick less people. For example, if you have like a map that's just a bunch of free models placed all on a map, I'm not going to accept it into the series because then it just looks like you're trying to get a free map. But if you have something like this where it looks like you tried and you're just a beginner builder, these are more of the people that I want to help, okay? If it's a bunch of free models on a map, I'm not going to remake it. And if it's asset packs, I will not be remaking it. But let's start off into this. I have 2 folders now, old map, new map, and I kind of copy and pasted just the ground and the water because, hey, I want to keep the size as close as possible. So first things first, about the old map, it's a factory kind of thing built in the middle of, we'll say, an ocean. Now, for this to be a thing, I don't think it could have a rock as its like sitting point. That just doesn't make sense. So we're gonna have to build some sort of thing to hold up everything, and I want to change this water because to me, I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't really look that great, especially for the style of build I do. Just real nice cartoon, low poly. So first things first, I'm gonna get the water fixed up and like the whole ground fixed up for what we're gonna be building onto, and then we'll hop into Blender and start making the models. Alright guys, so I'm thinking for the water, we're gonna have something like this, and the ground will be something like this. I think I want to station this sort of like an oil rig, if that makes sense, where they're kind of levitated above the water and they have big support beams holding them up. I'll still have to model the support beams because I don't want to just use trusses like this guy did because, I mean, first off, it's like old Roblox, and second off, it just doesn't like work right to me. Like, I don't know why there's always like an extra gap like between the model and like this outline, and that doesn't mean anything for a player, but it's very annoying to me. So I won't be using trusses, but here's what I got. I will probably thicken all of this up now that I'm thinking about it, like more of a, let me grab my building tools. Where's that guy? There we go. And I'm just gonna scale these up a little bit. Of course, I missed the 2 inside parts. I'm just gonna scale those up. Something like this. Wow, what the heck? What? Why did this one go so high? And what? Oh, maybe I only missed the back part. So this is a whole mess. All right, there we go. Now it's back to kind of normal. So I think I'll keep these like this and go for an oil rig type look. I think the water looks a lot better than it previously did. What is happening here? Why are these like, oh my gosh, guys, this is all, it's a mess. There we go. So I think it looks a lot better already. Of course, we have a lot more to add. I did make a list of what I'm going to need to model, and I got it right here. We need a crane, shipping containers, 2 factories, a toxic barrel, some sort of a ground, which I'm not modeling now. I decided to just go with like an oil rig type thing, which I've already built. We need 2 different cardboard boxes and a spotlight. I just basically looked over here. What I could see, we got crane, barrels, or crane, containers, toxic barrels, spotlights, and 2 factories. And here's like the cardboard boxes. Maybe I'll have to model some sort of a conveyor, but I'm not sure if I'm going to build it in studio or model it yet. But I'll see you guys when the assets are done. Probably everything except the factories. I'll start small, and then I'll work on the bigger stuff afterwards. Alright guys, so far I've checked off a few things of the list. I made 3 variants of the shipping containers, one with 1 door open, one with both, and just a normal one all closed up. I've made 2 cardboard boxes with a little bit of shape to them just to be more cartoon vibe. One open, one closed. The toxic barrel, which is right here. The street light, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, actually. It doesn't look that great. I do need to fill in this top, though. I don't know. I don't think the street light turned out that awesome, but I also don't have any other ideas for it, so it may or may not make it into the game. And then this will hold up our floating island on the water. Up next, what we need to do is a crane, and I don't want to make a crane like the ones he had in the game. And I have 2 reasons for this. One reason is I'm not sure how to do this like cross look. I don't know. I could probably do it, but I don't know if it would look good or bad. And I don't know how it would line everything up. There's just a lot of stuff I don't know about for that. So I'm gonna make more of a stylized crane that doesn't have this look, but hopefully will still look cool. And then we can actually start building it up. And I'm gonna do the factories last because I'm really not looking forward to them. I don't like doing buildings at all. But if we put all our new assets in with these factories, things would look a little out of place. All right, guys, whether you love it or hate it, it was a painstaking process, but I like it. Kind of a stylized crane. I think it turned out pretty good, actually, so I'm going to keep it, and I hope that the person I'm revamping the map for likes it. Another thing, I don't know if I'm doing this or not, but I'm genuinely thinking about it. I have a Patreon where it's been kind of stagnant recently because I'm trying to figure out the best way to optimize it to not increase my workload. But I'm thinking I'm going to switch it to just have 1 tier. And if you purchase it, you'll get all the assets I make in my videos, as long as they're not like, you know, for a commission. Like if they're a free thing that I'm making, I will upload them to Patreon. So for example, like you'd be able to get all of this stuff for free, or like maybe like a set each month or something like that. I don't know the best way to optimize it or anything like that, but I definitely want to get back to it because hey, more streams of income is definitely great, and helping you guys out with some assets is definitely another great thing. So I'm going to continue this. I think the last thing I have to do is the 2 factories, which is correct, and I think those are going to take a pretty long time. So I'm going to take a little break in Blender. Let me go ahead and check all this stuff real quick, make sure the faces are right. Yep, all good. And I'm going to take a little break from Blender, put all this stuff in Studio, and start working in there for a little bit. And then we'll come back and work on the factories because, yikes. I'll see you guys in Studio. Alright guys, so I've been playing around in Studio for a little bit, and this is what I've got. So these are all support beams. I could probably delete the inner ones here, simply because they don't show on the map, so there's no reason to really have them out. Okay, let me just ungroup. There we go. So we're just going to delete the ones that are like inside. Makes the most sense to me. We don't need them. You can't see them. There's not really a benefit of having them. Now we're going to group these again and call them supports. All right, so there we go. Here's what we have so far. These are the placeholders for the 2 factories. And we got big cranes, small cranes. We got some of this stuff. I was looking over at his map, and let me show you. If I just bring the dummy, it's not like big enough really. So like this is a Roblox character, and you couldn't, you know, fit inside that door, which is a bit strange. You also couldn't, you know, fit really anywhere. I guess you could fit under this walkway. The lights, the little path. Is this a tower defense map? That makes a lot more sense. You know what? If this is a tower defense map, which I'm just now seeing, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Enter, exit, or vice versa. Yeah, yikes. That would make me build this so much differently. I just didn't remember if it was... I don't remember him telling me anything about it being a tower defense map. So these, like, straight paths might have to happen. I don't think I can do the curvy paths. And that also makes sense why everything is so small. That's kind of tough. I'm gonna leave it to how I think it looks good. And if it is a tower defense map, which I really think it is now, I can't believe I didn't notice that. If it is, well, I'll let them kind of change up what they need to. But I'm making it big enough for players. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then the curved path looks a lot better as well. But oh wow, I definitely think it's a tower defense map. I may have to go with square paths, guys. That's so tough. So tough. Let me see. Yeah, for it being a tower defense map, my new layout's not gonna work. I need more. The secondary factory also has no playability. It's just decoration. So we might just be building one. Okay. All right, I gotta switch this up so it's more of a tower defense. All right, guys, so I just went through, made all of the paths straight again, and made it so it can be used for a tower defense because I think that's what it is. Once again, I just save these map files under, like, the name of the Discord user. I don't read a bunch about the map, so I guess next time I should definitely read quite a bit about it and, you know, make sure I'm building it to what they're going to be using it for. So we have a nice layout now for tower defense. I did overspill on here a little bit just to add some character, and I also added my lights around small as now that makes sense. And I put a beam in them as well. So if you want to see how this beam works, it's just a texture, and you have a start and an end. The start is smaller than the end, so when you go to your light, you have your width and your width 1. The width right here is the top, and the width 1 is the bottom. You just make it wider towards the bottom, and it gives a cool little light effect. So, up next, I need to figure out what I'm going to do to decorate here, which I think maybe some of these, like just pillars, like these parts, because crane parts are over there. So some of these, I'll have to separate them in Blender. Put those like over here, and I need to build the factory, of course. But overall, I think this is turning out pretty good. All right, guys, so far, this is what I've got. We got a pretty cool little thing going on, and I have pretty much the rest of the idea in my head. So, the map is filling up pretty good. I know there has to still be space to put, like, your little dudes or, like, whatever's defending the tower. So there has to still be space for that. And I didn't know what I was going to do over here, so I kind of just made a mess of a crane. I should probably bring this... Okay, I gotta bring this, like, up a little bit, I think. Or rotate it a little bit so we're not getting that clip. There we go. So I made, like, a mess of a crane, just, like, some crane construction stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. And for the boxes, I'm gonna have the conveyor belt coming out somewhere around here and then going this way. And then I'll still be able to use the boxes because, hey, we got to use them after we made them, you know? So we'll just put those like over here for now. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to build the conveyor belts and how it's going to look yet. Nor do I know the factory. That's going to be a... Oh, yikes. I'm not looking forward to the factory. All right, guys, so the factory building itself is done. I have pretty much the whole map done. I need to add some sort of a conveyor belt here so I can put the boxes on. And maybe a texture on the ground, even though I'm not sure about that one yet. But I think I'll probably add a texture on the ground just to help fill in some of the space. Because it's kind of, it seems a little empty compared to this. But I think, so far so good. Like, I genuinely think it's turning out better than it was. And if you don't, well, that's a rip. I'm really trying out here. All right, guys, I think I'm fully done with the build. Check it out. There's the conveyor belt right there. I need to add maybe some supports, so I guess maybe not fully done, but I'll do that. And I'm done other than that, guys. I think it turned out absolutely sick. If we put the new map, let me just throw everything in the new map folder, in fact. And let me just drag everything right next to it. So we have the old map versus the new one. Here's the old one right here. Boom, just checking around, looking around. And then the new one. Guys, I think I really did a good job, all right? Now, if I didn't, you can let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty proud of how this build turned out, and I'm sure the person I'm fixing the map for will be very proud of it as well. But I think that's going to wrap up this video. If you're hyped for the Fixing Fan Build series to come back, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you do want me to upload assets I make in these videos, like the crane, the boxes, stuff like that, to my Patreon, let me know that as well. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.